Today in 2026, we are more connected than ever to our phones, to our work, to the world. And yet, so many of us, including me, feel rushed, feel overwhelmed, and strangely disconnected from our daily life. Aujourd'hui, today, let's have a look at a French-inspired life. And let me show you how I live, a French girl based in Paris. For some context, je m'appelle Gabrielle, my name is Gabrielle. My little puppy is called Merciiii. And we love having adventures in Paris, in France, in a bilingual way. But today we're going to explore a topic that's been on my mind for a while about what French-inspired life is and how can we bring it into our own daily life. In this video, I'll show you 10 simple ways to bring a slower, calmer, more human rhythm of life into your everyday life that's inspired by the French lifestyle. Just grab a hot drink and allons-y. The first one is separate your work time from your personal time. So séparer la vie pro et la vie perso. This one is one very easy to say and not very easy to do. For me personally, what's been helping, and I think a lot of French people, is that at the end of our workday, we actually log off. We won't be checking ongoing. Unless if you have a super important project coming up, then you're not gonna check on the evening itself. For me, something that's really helped, I don't look at my emails in the evenings, and also I deactivated all notifications. When a work day finishes or just when a day finishes, really put your state so that the day is ending. Change your clothes, lower the lights. When the work day ends, it ends. So that means that you step away from your work area, you take a short walk to take a break. Also, I've completely deactivated notifications on my phone, which for the past year, la dernière année, has been such a big difference. Now, if I want to talk to someone or if I want to check something, I will intentionally go on my phone and search for it rather than be bombarded with notifications. You know, notifications for every single thing, and it was very overwhelming. We're very intentional about where we put our attention to, which is something I hope to bring into this year, and I really hope for you as well. After work or after a long day, c'est vraiment pour se déconnecter et vivre, it's to disconnect themselves and to live, not just to work and feel overwhelmed. And what are actual ways that you can do this as well is you can also go away from your work area and you can change into different clothes. Moi personnellement, je me change. Even if in the daytime I had been working at home, je me change. Lower the lights. We make space for what we want to bring into the rest of our evening and to kind of calm and slow down. One habit that's really become part of my French way of living is learning something for me, learning something new, so learning a new language. It's un petit moment pour moi, just a small moment for myself. And taking time for yourself is actually such a key part of the French way of living. I've been using italki and it just fits so perfectly into a slower, more intentional way of life. If you haven't heard of italki before, it's actually an online language learning platform where you take one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers. And the big difference is that you're actually talking. Tu parles. So you're improving, you're listening, and you're speaking, and you're not just aimlessly looking at memorizing vocabulary lists. I really like how easy it is to find the right teacher. You can filter by language, by price, by availability, and there's even an AI assistant that helps you match with teachers. Because it's a one-on-one, you actually get real-time feedback and guidance the whole time. And your teacher corrects you, explains things clearly, and helps you feel more confident when you speak, which is le plus important. Watashi wa Gabrielle desu. Genki desu ka? Right? Sugoi.
Normally we say something with
For me, this is such a nice way to stay connected to culture. You can learn French, Thai, Japanese, or so many other languages, and it feels completely different when you're having a conversation with a local. And it's actually really flexible. You pay per lesson, so it works with your schedule and your budget. If learning French or any other language has been on your mind, this is a really easy way to start. Make this year count. And also, I got a promo code for you with my promo code
FrenchWithElle 2026. You can buy $10 and get $5 for free for your first lesson. This offer is only available for the first 50 of you. Language learning doesn't have to feel intense or overwhelming. It can be slow, personal, meaningful, and even joyful. Un petit plaisir du quotidien. And that's exactly why I love learning with italki. The outside world right now is loud, but your home shouldn't be. French homes are really not about aesthetics, being very modern, but it's really du confort. It's a place where you feel comfortable. It's kind of a place to have your own cocoon. And as you know, Paris apartments are not very big. I personally took so long to find my current Paris apartment, which if you've been following me for a while, you know that previously I lived in an 18 meter square, 20 meter square, donc très petit, but I still found a way to make it comfortable, avoir beaucoup de confort, avoir beaucoup de charme. That's really the importance of having a French comfort home. Soft lighting, tidy tables, une musique en fond, and a background soft music, et des fleurs fraîches. You can see I actually have this bouquet. J'ai ce bouquet que j'ai fait dans un événement avec l'École nationale des fleuristes. Je suis très contente de ce que j'ai fait. I'm really happy. Let me know if you also love fresh flowers, si t'aimes aussi les fleurs fraîches comme moi. Et aussi, allumer des bougies, especially now with the winter seasons, la saison d'hiver. May wanted to join us. Another important French lifestyle habit that French people do and that I really love about France, de garder la culture dans le quotidien. So keeping culture in everyday life. So I actually grew up in Asia, j'ai grandi en Asie, and I feel like everything that was cultural, you know, especially when I lived in Shanghai, where there would be art exhibitions, I really felt like il fallait gagner énormément d'argent pour y avoir accès. You need to be earning a lot to be able to have access to it. And also I thought c'était que privilégié, you know, it was privileged for certain people. Culture doesn't have to be impressive or expensive. For example, I have a little table where I put like books and I change it from time to time. J'ai un livre photo de Paris, dictionnaire amoureux de la pâtisserie de Pierre Hermé. So I put these on a little table, and that's because quand j'ai un peu de temps, when I have some time, je peux feuilleter, I can have a look through it. Tu peux aussi regarder des films. You can watch some movies, independent movies, French movies. And another thing is that there are also interesting newsletters that you can read to keep up on culture. I personally just launched my French culture newsletter, which if you go on my Instagram and my website, you can sign up your email and I can also send you a letter there. I write them every week and it's related to French culture, French fun facts, and that's a great way to keep culture without feeling overwhelmed from all the news channels, the news apps. Faut être vraiment sélectif. You really need to be selective. It took me all my 20s so far to realize this, but la culture c'est très important, you know. Culture feeds us, feeds our soul, and it's something that algorithms cannot do. Ça nous apprend plein de choses. It teaches us so many things. It brings us a lot of inspiration, and it really brings positive content into our lives. And another thing is also by learning new things. Ils disent toujours, il n'y a pas d'âge pour apprendre. There is no age to learn something new, whether it's a language, a skill, a hobby, an art. And this is something que j'adore vraiment. I really love about French culture and lifestyle. Quelque chose de très français, very French, is moins mais mieux. It means less but better, so owning less but then being better quality. And I think this applies to a lot of things, but the one that I personally relate to the most is clothes. Because I previously lived in Asia and I lived in Shanghai, and I was also surrounded by a lot of people who would hoard things all the time, and I thought that that was the way, you know, to keep things. And it's honestly a very, very hard habit to disassociate from, especially if it's something that you've seen your whole life. C'est pas facile, you know, it's really not easy, but it's really cette mentalité de moins mais mieux. So for clothes, if it's something that you haven't worn in the past year, perhaps select 5 items and tell yourself, allez, je vais donner ces vêtements. I'm gonna donate these clothes parce que il est temps, it's time to give them a second life. to make new space, to make room for actually things that you need. And you're also going to realize that, I realize this too, that I often wear the same things, I just style it differently, and also ça dépend de la saison, you know, it depends on the season. Quality over quantity brings mental calm. Ça va faire du bien de libérer de la place. It's going to be good to make some space and make some room. 2026 is time to let go of things we don't need anymore. Another thing is faire des vraies pauses. So to do real breaks, to have real breaks. Not just scrolling breaks, but actually to take your time pour prendre une vraie pause. I remember the first time I heard this probably was on my first internship over 10 years ago en France. It was in Aix-en-Provence. And they would take breaks, you know, and they would be like, okay, c'est une pause clope. So une pause clope means like pause cigarette, so a smoking break. And je fumais pas, je fume toujours pas, I don't smoke. And they would say, oh, you know, que pour les fumeurs, just for smokers. So in my mind, I was thinking, c'est un peu étrange qu'il y a que des pauses pour les fumeurs. You know, it's a bit strange. Je vais rajouter un peu de fenouil. How do you say fenouil in English? Je vais mettre un peu de fenouil parce que une amie m'a dit que c'est bien pour le ventre. It's good for the stomach. Je me sens un peu ballonnée, so I feel like my stomach since the past few months have been felt a bit bloated. So elle m'a dit que de mettre un peu de fenouil, que ça allait me faire du bien. So I'm gonna put it, je vais laisser infuser. J'ai aussi mis des bouts de gingembre et de citron. I love making infusions with ginger and lemon. I used to think like scrolling on my phone feels like rest, but it's actually still keeping your brain very busy. Donc c'est pas vraiment une pause, it's not really a break. And I think you really need to do a break where you step away from your phone and you step away from the news and notifications. And a real break is actually quiet. So là, par exemple, je bois mon thé. I'm drinking my tea. C'est prendre un moment pour soi. It's to take a moment for yourself. Ça peut être très court, hein? A break can be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. It's really worth it parce qu'en fait, c'est 5 minutes, 10 minutes de silence, those 10 minutes of quietness. It actually makes up for 1 hour of being very productive. 10 minutes of true presence a day actually does more for your mind than if you were scrolling or if you were doing something for an hour. And you're gonna tell me, mais je fume pas, I don't smoke, ou je bois pas de thé. It can just be looking out the window. Tu peux regarder par la fenêtre, tu peux respirer un peu et vraiment prendre une pause. In the French lifestyle, ça fait vraiment partie de notre vie, de notre quotidien. That's why Asians and Americans always say, like French people, we have such long lunch breaks. We have also a snack break, un goûter. On a pas mal de temps, and I think it really reflects that even with these long breaks and still be very productive. So take a slow break today when you can. A very important point that's also related to les pauses, to breaks, is build a life around a walkable routine. Parce que marcher, c'est la vie, because walking is life. I think French people, and especially in Paris, were known to walk a lot, pour marcher beaucoup.
Et je pense vraiment que les Français, I really feel like for French people, they really build their routine around walkable routines. I know what you're gonna say to me. You're gonna say that, mais moi, j'ai pas besoin de marcher pour aller à la boulangerie. I don't need to walk to go to the boulangerie, or I don't need to walk to go to the pharmacy. And it's true that you don't need to go to those places, mais en fait, juste le fait de marcher, just the fact that walking, even if it's 5-10 minutes, 5-10 minutes par jour, like just it clears your mind, it resets your mind. Ça fait vraiment du bien. It really does some good. Je le faisais pas assez avant. I didn't do it enough before, but now I really try to incorporate it into my life. And I think a really great time, c'est soit juste au réveil, when you wake up, or soit juste après le travail, right after your workday. Je pense que c'est des moments parfaits. They're really perfect times to kind of reset, go on a short walk. Pas de portable, pas de notification, nothing, just une coupure, and then your mind can rest and have a lovely walk. Et t'as pas besoin d'aller loin, you don't need to go far, just go for a 5-10 minute walk. et c'est parfait.
C'est l'heure du goûter. It's kind of like snack tea time, I guess. J'ai acheté du pain ce matin. I bought bread this morning. Et je vais mettre un peu de beurre. The next point, which is to eat simply but regularly. C'est l'heure de goûter, my favorite part. French food culture, I think, could be a complete video on its own. Je pourrais faire une vidéo sur ça. If that would interest you, let me know in the comments below. Je trouve que quand on mange, when we eat, we're super present. Like, what do I mean by that? Qu'est-ce que je veux dire? I mean that like French people, when they eat, like we intentionally chew, we intentionally savor what we're eating. In a world where meals are rushed and forgotten, and personally I have gone through this as well. I remember when I got my first job in China, there were some days where I completely forgot to eat. J'oubliais de manger. I've been going through my whole life like ups and downs, ups where I would eat very, very healthy for a while, and then downs where I would go back into eating unhealthy. Something with age that we also realize, c'est que la vie n'est pas parfaite. Nos corps sont pas parfaits, you know, our bodies change, and I think we can't blame our bodies to be changing. We can't force our bodies to change, but you can control the way you look at it and the pace that you have for it. Bon, je vais quand même goûter ça. Une tranche de pain avec du beurre de Merciiii. Chewing slowly, recognizing, noticing all the flavors, toutes les saveurs, et vraiment prendre son temps. And I think French people in our lifestyle, on aime bien parler, et en fait le fait de prendre son temps and to put down the food et de continuer à parler, ça fait vraiment du bien. Ça fait du bien pour notre esprit, ça fait du bien pour la digestion. I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming that eating slower is good for digestion. Eating at regular times without pushing yourself either. C'est vrai que ce serait peut-être intéressant, it would perhaps be interesting if I showed you what a French diet looks like, or what me as a French girl in Paris, what I eat in a week. If there's something that interests you, dis-le moi dans les commentaires. Et en France, we like to talk to people in real life, dans la vraie vie. Having lived in big cities like Shanghai, like Hong Kong, I realized I never really talked to people until I moved to Paris and I moved to France. And a good way to put it is to say that online connection is wide but thin, while real life interaction is small but deep. Just even by saying bonjour, by saying hello to un boulanger, to a baker, or saying hello to my neighbor, that compte beaucoup. And when people start conversations with me, when I first arrived to Paris, I was a little apprehensive. I was like, why are they starting conversation with me? Why are they starting to talk to me? C'est un peu bizarre. These moments seem really insignificant, genre, they makes me feel like I'm wasting my day or I'm wasting my time. But actually, they really build belonging, especially if it's someone that lives around your neighborhood, or someone that goes to the same library you go to, or the same place where you buy your bread, then it's someone that you might come across again. Et c'est très sympa. The next thing, a lot of people are not gonna like this, but it's actually don't optimize everything. Ne pas tout optimiser. So what does it mean? I think French lifestyle really embraces le suffisamment bien, the well enough, the good enough, the I tried hard enough, and it talks about everything. You know, it can go from such small things to like my clothes aren't well styled, or my room is not perfectly tidy. Some days are messy, some meals are messy, and accepting imperfection brings peace. Of course, this is such a big statement, but I think in France, in the French lifestyle, most people, you know, we're okay to not having everything being perfect. Même pour un repas, even for a meal, you know, sometimes I'm thinking, oh, j'ai pas de légumes, I don't have vegetables for this meal, or I don't have enough. So let one meal be messy, let your room not be perfectly clean every day. Say comme ça va to one imperfect moment. I think this practicing self-compassion and understanding and treating your way that you would treat a friend, even concerning learning a language or learning a new skill. I know that this month I became a beginner in a new hobby and skill, and I feel a bit dumb sometimes, or even I started a new language and I felt a bit frustrated, but I think I need to really take a step back and to have self-compassion for the small imperfections of our daily life. Merciiii is back with us from her little nap de sa petite sieste. And dernièrement, the last thing is to end days slowly. Evenings in France are not for catching up, for hustling, they're for slowing down, prendre son temps, ralentir, stopping the scrolling, stopping the notifications, putting things aside and letting space pour bien finir la journée doucement, to end the day well, slowly. Honnêtement, c'est vraiment un luxe. It's really a luxury, I think, to have this part of the day be slower than the rest et de t'accorder du temps à toi. Maybe you can try it out today. Put your phone on ne pas déranger, don't disturb. Stretch for a few minutes. I've been stretching in the evenings because I've always stretched in the mornings, but I've only recently started to stretch in the evening, et ça me fait tellement du bien. And also, I no longer look at my phone before bedtime. Et ça, pour moi, has been a game changer. Even if it's just 30 minutes before bedtime, not looking at it, c'est vraiment, ça me fait un bien de fou. So I hope that you can take some time to be offline and to be more present and more intentional about the things that you do. As you can see, a French-inspired life, c'est pas du tout, on n'a pas besoin de vivre à Paris. We don't need to live in Paris. We don't need to crazily change our routine. It's about savoring un thé ou un café without your phone, being more intentional, enjoying your meals, listening to French songs, bringing a little bit of culture in your everyday in a very simple way, being part of newsletters that have meaning to you. If you want to know about my newsletter, I'll put it in this description below. You don't need to change your whole life. You just need to be more intentional about how you spend your time, navigate your days, and remember that you are allowed to take breaks. Tu as le droit de prendre des pauses pour toi. Tell me what French-inspired tips you want to bring into this year and what things you're trying to work on. Let me know in the comments below. Je vais tout lire. I'll read everything. I really enjoy this little chat that we have. C'est bien à faire de temps en temps. It's nice to have sit-down chats like this from time to time. I can't wait to take you on my next Paris adventure, or perhaps in another city in France avec petite Merciiii. We look forward to seeing you next time. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt!